and gentlemen, you're aware that the university unions called for a strike in September. Today, this strike is running onto its 49th day, and mainly there were three pending issues that led to the issuance of that notice. Number one, it was on the implementation of the 2021-2025 CBA, which was concluded last year, in which there was an amount of 2.73 billion that was supposed to have been paid in July this year. Whereas at September 2025, that amount had not been fully paid. So that was part of the reason why this strike was called. But after the strike was called and before the expiry of the notice period, that 2.73 billion was paid, and therefore the issue relating to the CBA of 2021-2025 was resolved. The second issue that led to the calling of the strike was for the negotiation of the CBA of 2025-2029. In last year's discussions, when we were negotiating the settlement of the previous CBA, we had agreed as a group that all the CBAs in the universities, in the teachers' unions, would be negotiated and settled, registered at the beginning of their cycle in order to avoid the situation where we are negotiating CBAs at the end of their cycle, leading to situations where we have arrears, which brings complications of budgeting and a heavy load to the budget of the ministry and the government. So part of the reason why that strike was called was for us to be able to find out how far that CBA was, and we have since agreed that the beacons have been given. There is negotiations to and fro, and now the return to work formula that we have signed today, as we have agreed that that CBA for 2025-2029 will be negotiated and completely registered within the next 30 days.
The strike is over. Today, the University Academic Staff Union has received a commitment by the Ministry of Education, the National Treasury, and the councils of universities, undertaking that 7.9 billion shall be released to staff in public universities in two tranches as follows. Kenya shillings 3.8 billion in November, but not later than 31st December 2025. Kenya shillings 3.8 billion in July 2026. Universities that did not utilize the allocation of Kenya shillings 2.2 billion to pay arrears amounting to 182 million for 2017-2021 CBA, but instead utilized it for sustaining the CBA, salaries shall immediately top up when the government releases the funds. We are not leaving this industrial action with all what we wanted, which was immediate full implementation of 7.9 billion, but we have secured the 7.9 billion. I want to thank all the organs of the union, particularly National Executive Council and the National Delegate Council yesterday, that gave me power to call off this strike. We consider the firm commitment by the National Treasury and Parliament and balance against the interest of more than 600,000 students and the survival of higher education sector in this country. WASU has made concession and thereby calls off the strike. I want to particularly thank the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, who mediated and managed to offer us 50-50. I also want to thank Parliament and particularly National Education Committee of the National Assembly that bridged the gap between us and other stakeholders. Let me finish by highlighting some provisions of the return to work formula that we have signed today. Universities shall unconditionally withdraw all disciplinary actions on WASU members for activities related directly or indirectly to the industrial action. All disciplinary action commenced during the pendency of the industrial action shall be deemed withdrawn. For employees on contract the renewal of their contract shall not be prejudiced by participation in industrial action. To comrades, I know you have suffered, and I want to apologize to the comrades for the 42 plus days that they have lost. However, our members have committed that they are going to recover the lost time fully. The next thing, it is upon the government that you honor what we have signed here today. And if you honor what we have signed today, I want to commit that there shall be no strike called by us up to 2030. But if you don't honor this agreement, I'll call even a strike next week. Thank you very much.
Tumefika mahali ambapo tunaweza tukaongea. Kwanza kabisa, we would like to inform our members in all the 42 universities that today, the 5th of November 2025, the strike has been called off. The strike that has taken 49 days is now called off. It's been called off because we have been able, guided by the ministry, to go through the paces of negotiations. And as social partners, we uphold the spirit of give and take, that whatever we went out to pursue, indeed, we managed to get the 7.9 billion shillings, not the 624 million shillings that was initially advised to be the date. We have also therefore agreed that given the position, the financial position that there is with the Treasury, and guided by the National Assembly yesterday, we have agreed to get this 7.9 paid in 2 tranches at 50%, 50%. And that is the spirit that we are carrying to allow our institutions of higher learning to get back to normalcy and to allow our students to continue with their studies.